security, armed militants have attempted to break into the Russian embassy in the capital of Libya. RT's Igor Piskunov has the details now live, joining me in the studio. Igor, what do we know at this early stage?
Well, this is really news just in. We've just barely received confirmation from the Foreign Ministry, and they did say that a group of unknown men right now did attempt to enter the premises of the Russian embassy in the Libyan capital. Thankfully, no one was injured, and while officially this is all the confirmed information that we have. But earlier, Al Arabiya was reporting that its correspondent there heard gunshots and explosions of rocket-propelled grenades coming from around the area. But once again, according to the Foreign Ministry, thankfully, no injuries have been reported among the embassy's staff. But a year ago, around 200 people did manage to break onto the premises. They took down the Russian flag. That was after Russia and China rejected the second UN Security Council resolution on Libya.
Okay, well, so obviously at this stage, very scant details. You're keeping abreast of the situation, and you'll bring us more developments as soon as you get it. Thank you very much indeed. You've got a Piskunov live there. And we're now joined by Sukant Chandan. He's an activist and journalist on the line from London. Of course, the question is, Sukant, who could be behind the attack, and why would they attack a Russian embassy there in Tripoli?
Well, ever since the fall of Muammar Gaddafi's Jamahiriya government, we've seen in Libya the mob rule of countless militias or death squads or whatever you want to call them. And most of them who fought against Gaddafi and alongside NATO had and have a visceral hatred for the Russian government because of the Russian government's foreign policy of protecting the independence of the global South countries, and also for the Russia Today channel as well, which was the only channel in the whole satellite, of all the satellite channels in the English language, that had a critical narrative in relation to the NATO operation there. Me myself, I was in Tripoli 3 times during the NATO bombing through 2011, and I can tell you when Tripoli fell, if anyone was associated with Russia Today or the Russian government in any way, you would be in literal mortal danger. So who knows who could be behind this? We'll soon find out which particular militia is behind it. But also, it's not just the perceived enemies of the death squads that they go after. They go after their own senior colleagues as well, including the former ambassador Christopher Stevens, who was lynched last year on September the 11th.
And Sukant, this is happening in Libya, but of course Russia is very vocal about developments surrounding Syria. Could that have any connection at all?
Absolutely. Many of my colleagues say that Syria is but a slow motion replay of what happened to Libya, and the death squads who fought in Libya have all gone over to Syria. And so there is this nexus and this common interest of the death squads, again supported by NATO, between Libya and Syria. So definitely the Syrian situation feeds into the situation in Libya, and this tragic development, obviously, against the Russian diplomatic building.
Well, of course, we've been reporting about many incidents of violence, a lot of deaths recently in Libya. Just how difficult now is the security situation for the country and the people there?
There's no security. Unfortunately, in the last month or so, Libya has seen around 47 young women kidnapped. And so there is no security whatsoever. This is going to play out, but the hope is once the death squads have exhausted themselves and the people, which is the case, the Libyan people are increasingly perhaps whispering at the moment, but the whispers are growing louder, that things weren't actually so bad under the Jamahiriya Muammar Gaddafi's government. So perhaps in the future there'll be a new Libyan movement that can cleanse this whole mess of a situation and rebuild Libya, like which that was rebuilt from the poorest country in the world to the country with the highest HDI living standard index in all of Africa. That is at least the hope.
OK, Sukant, thank you very much indeed for your immediate reaction to what's happened there in Libya. Sukant Chandan, activist and journalist on the line from London.